Here's Johnny.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 over-the-top acting performances.
Say hello to my little friend.
For this list, we'll be looking at actors who pushed their performative talents to the absolute limit. These stars yelled, cried, and screamed their way into the scenery-chewing Hall of Fame. Did we forget about an especially bold acting role? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Dennis Hopper, Blue Velvet.
A ride. Hell, that's a good idea. Okay, let's go.
David Lynch's Blue Velvet contains a strange collection of characters, including the eccentric gangster Frank Booth. The crime lord is played by Dennis Hopper in a career-best performance. Never afraid to speak his mind, Booth represents a villain that lashes out in a frightening display of anger. He also has a darkly humorous streak and a preference for Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Hey, we love Ben.
We love Ben.
Here's the Ben.
Here's the Ben.
Hey, neighbor.
You might not want to spend time with him in real life, but he's definitely a firecracker on the big screen. Hopper entered an artistic resurgence around the time of this release, setting him on a path towards other over-the-top villains in his filmography.
Anyone want to go on a joyride with us? How about you? Huh? Hey, no smile for Frank?
Number 9. Faye Dunaway, Mommy Dearest.
Carolyn, I have asked you to keep the children quiet today. And for Christ's sake, get them out of the garden.
Some might call it sensational, but Mommy Dearest has an iconic performance from Faye Dunaway. She plays the Hollywood legend Joan Crawford in a movie that explores her darker personal life. Allegedly abusive to her adoptive daughter, Crawford appears in a negative light in this biopic based on the controversial book of the same name. Dunaway goes full ham in her performance, full of snippy dialogue. One sequence in particular uses wire hangers to infamous effect.
What's wire hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever?
Anything but subtle, the actress takes huge swings as the acclaimed starlet. Something of a cult classic, this campy film is unexpectedly enjoyable for its melodramatic touches.
Well, maybe that's what I would have done. If you'd been nice enough to stay out there with me, help me through the crowd and into the restaurant like a gentleman.
Why are you screaming?
Because I'm damn mad.
Number 8. Peter Finch, Network.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job.
Delivering one of the more prophetic parts in film history, Peter Finch stars as a news anchor who becomes a raving madman on television. He crafts this Academy Award-winning performance with the fury of a person that has nothing left to lose. His evolution from news personality to political preacher yields some of the more compelling monologues ever acted for the screen.
All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
The famous speech he gives still feels as important as it did in the 70s, all thanks to Finch's intensity in front of the camera. His casting also infuses a humanity into the role that gives every searing line delivery an added effect.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Number 7. Gary Oldman, Leon the Professional.
I like these calm little moments before the storm. It reminds me of Beethoven.
Gary Oldman has played many great antagonists in his storied career, but Norman Stansfield could be his best. The crooked DEA agent gives Oldman the opportunity to heighten an otherwise standard villain. He doesn't even need dialogue to show people that his character is crazy, popping pills and smelling people without any remorse. The actor arrives in every one of his sequences with pure evil on his mind, terrorizing characters with his many quirks.
I take no pleasure in taking a life if it's from a person who doesn't care about it.
While he might not be subtle, Stansfield is a role that harkens back to the more theatrical types of cinema acting.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone!
Number 6. Elizabeth Taylor. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Hey! Hey! Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Adapted from the play Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is a rousing domestic drama with towering performances at its center. Elizabeth Taylor plays the role of Martha opposite her then-husband Richard Burton, who both bring a startling accuracy to this domestic drama. Taylor spends a considerable amount of runtime drunk and ready for a fight.
Not the little bugger. Stop calling him that! You've got problems.
These details only amplify with the arrival of a younger couple, who ensure that the night will be anything but normal. Projecting as if she's on the stage, her acting feels right for this kind of material about a stifling relationship. It's even more unsettling with the lead actress's fiery presence.
No, sir, this isn't a novel at all. This is the truth. This really happened to me.
I'll kill you.
It happened!
Number 5. Leonardo DiCaprio. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Jordan Belfort, sounding like a kind of twisted Robin Hood who takes from the rich and gives to himself and his merry little band of brokers. Read that, read it.
Listen.
Taking on the role of stockbroker Jordan Belfort, Leonardo DiCaprio thrills audiences in this raunchy biopic about excess. He powers through an electric performance that takes audiences into the debauchery of the finance world. DiCaprio asserts himself as the most versatile star of his generation, raising his voice in a tour de force of shouting. His grandiose speeches at the Stratton Oakmont firm are just one example of Belfort's engaging cult of personality.
Good! Pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich!
Building steadily over the course of the epic narrative, the performer never loses sight of the larger-than-life persona. The actor also reveals the darkly humorous side of his drug use in a Quaaludes-induced set piece. Number 4. Nicolas Cage. Vampire's Kiss.
I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to. And you have to do it. You have to, or I'll fire you. Do you understand?
By this point, Nicolas Cage is famous for his singular acting choices. Vampire's Kiss is an earlier example of his more bizarre performance style, playing a literary agent grappling with his mental health and the possibility of becoming a vampire. There's a handful of actors who could have played this part, but none of them would have been as crazed as Cage. Through it all, the performer fires on all cylinders in a role that's full of entertainment. He also says his ABCs like nobody else ever has on film.
H-I-J-K-L-M-N-O-P Q-R-S-T-U-V. Do you ask what I say? Huh? That's all you have to do.
Cage would go on to shock audiences many times after this, such as in the movie Face Off with John Travolta.
God, I miss that face.
Number 3. Daniel Day-Lewis. There Will Be Blood.
I'm gonna bury you underground, Eli. Oh, I'm gonna bury you underground.
There Will Be Blood reminded everyone that Daniel Day-Lewis is the actor of his generation. Transforming into Daniel Plainview, he brings a distinct voice and physicality to the parts. The greedy oil man spends the film on a relentless path to eliminate his competition. He also has a psychotic mindset that makes for several notable speeches from Day-Lewis.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
The seething evil that guides his performance never dissipates for a minute, making his every awful decision even more impactful. Plainview's final minutes on screen are a bundle of vitriol that only could have been spouted by this special artist.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up!
Number 2. Jack Nicholson. The Shining.
I did hurt him once, okay? It was an accident. Completely unintentional.
Directed by Stanley Kubrick, The Shining adapts Stephen King's story into a horror masterpiece. This is partly due to the lead performance from Jack Nicholson in one of his memorably hostile roles. His character, Jack Torrance, loses himself over the course of his stay at the Overlook Hotel.
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever thought for a single solitary moment about my responsibilities to my employers? Has it ever occurred to you that I have agreed to look after the Overlook Hotel until May the 1st?
As it becomes clear that his problems aren't going away, the writer lashes out at his family in tense moments of violence. All of this allows Nicholson to widen his characterization of the lead character. The end result is a big, bold, and stratospheric turn from the acclaimed actor.
Here's Johnny!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Bruce Campbell, Army of Darkness. Campbell returns with a knowing glance as Ash in a tongue-in-cheek sequel.
You want a little? Do you? You want some more? Huh?
Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Carrey has never been more free in a role tailor-made for his goofy energy.
Of course, that might not do any good. You see, nobody's missing a porpoise. It's a dolphin that's been taken.
Kathy Bates, Misery. The actress channels the nuances of a crazed fan in the Stephen King adaptation.
I don't want her dead! I want her! And you murdered her!
No, I didn't.
Who did?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Al Pacino, Scarface.
How do you like it? They tell you all the time what to do, what to think, what to feel. Do you want to be like a cheap? Like all those other people, man?
Scarface is a remake of a classic film, but made entirely new by Al Pacino's transcendent performance. His role as Tony Montana features one of the boldest accents in cinema history. Not only is it distracting to the point of brilliance, but his voice is also part of why the project has been so beloved for all these years. The dialogue also gives the performer ample opportunity to rattle off amazing one-liners.
Say hello to my little friend!
Chewing the scenery with his every movement, Pacino carries the movie through its dramatic peaks with a slew of engaging choices. Without his brash star shining front and center, this story would be a lot less captivating and chaotic.
Who put this thing together? Me! That's who! Who do I trust? Me!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.